guys, this is Adam and this is the MacBook Neo with the 5-core GPU and then the 60GB of bandwidth and the 8GB of RAM. This game is the Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's one of my favorite games to ever play. I am a huge fan of Tomb Raider and always been and will always be. We're gonna go to graphics. We're gonna start with low. In terms of the display, we have the resolution at 1152 by 720p and then the refresh rate is at 60. Okay, let me increase the audio to the maximum. Okay, so far it's good and I am liking that. I mean, the game looks beautiful even to this day and we are on low graphics. Wow. I believe this is in Syria because the game when first it starts, at least with the Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is season 3, I believe the start of it is in Syria and then after that I think they go to Mexico or something like that, if my memory serves me right, or they go like to the Maya civilization or something like that. This is definitely on the slower end in terms of stuff popping up. And the textures, I wouldn't say they are the craziest. I will be testing another game as well, and that would be Cyberpunk, and then we will see how Cyberpunk performs as well. And again, we're talking about the MacBook Neo, only $500. So, in peak, it was 59.91 FPS, talking 60 frames. And then the scene in Syria, as I expected, that was 51 frames. And then the Valley, that was 45 frames. So overall score is 52 frames. And then from options we're gonna go to graphics, and this time we're gonna go to medium. So there is high and very high. I would only test high, I would not test very high. Maybe we will do it for the kicks and giggles at some point. Definitely the popping right now is slower, but I do notice that the quality is definitely better, but the popping is a little bit slower, and I have a feeling we might be end up being in the 40s in terms of the frames. I was right, so we got 47 frames. Honestly, as long as we are above 30 FPS, at least for me, for a single player game on a machine that costs $500, doesn't have a dedicated GPU, and only have 8GB of RAM, as long as I am doing above 30 frames, I should be happy. Again, for a single player game. And if you really want to game and you want to play video games and then your main goal is to play video games, the Mac is not for you. Get a Windows machine. I think you will have a better experience with that if you get something with a 3050. And then from options, we're going to go to graphics. So we have everything at medium. We're going to change to high. Okay, did not crash. That's a plus. The quality, it's definitely much better. And so far up top, it's saying 59 frames. I guess 54, 59, 57, 54. Not bad at all. We can see that the frames are doing good. Oh, now we got a huge dip and we are in the 40s, 39 stuff. Again, for me, that's still doable as long as we are above 30 FPS. Now, keep in mind, this is a single player game and you only have 8GB of RAM. I need to emphasize that. However, if your main goal when you are getting a machine such as this is to play video games, please don't. Get a Windows machine. You will have a much better experience with a Windows machine to play games. That is something on the side that you can do if you get this machine and you do your art with it and your Blender stuff and everything. But it's not like a machine I would get because I want to mainly play video games and do nothing else, if that makes sense. Because this, in terms of video games, should be a secondary thing that you do and it's not the main thing that you do. Because you can get a laptop with a 3050, like an RTX 3050, you will have a better experience in terms of games. Or you can get something with a 4050 or even a 5050 or a 5060 if you fancy and you want to spend a little bit of money as well. You should be good to go. And as you can see, we are averaging 40 to 42 frames and sometimes we are dipping to 30 frames. So our overall score is 42 FPS, which is actually good for high. So the mountain peak, that was 51 frames. In terms of the Syria scene, that is 37 FPS. And then for the valley or the geothermal valley, that is 37 frame. The overall score is 42. So let's go ahead and test the highest quality possible. And then graphics, we are at very high. Okay, the quality is much better. We are still at 57. So I guess the mountain scene is not that intensive, so you're always gonna get a high frame rate on that. However, when the camera transitioned and then the mountain was in front of us, just like now, we got a decent dip in performance. As long as I am above 30 FPS, I am happy for a machine of this caliber. And this is the serious scene, so we are starting at 30 FPS. Holy cow, this game looks beautiful. I cannot believe this game is a few years old. Like, what happened to games now actually matching this type of a quality? People, when they used to make games, they used to put love and effort into them. And right now, we are just getting what I would call an AI slob. We are at 40 FPS, 39, 40. I guess the stable is... Oh, we are going to 20 something FPS. That's different. And again, how rude of me not to introduce you to our friends today. So today we have in the very back, Shanks over there. Yep, there you go. That's Shanks. Then here you have a character from Fate Stay Night, Fate Order. And then here you have a character from Dragon Ball Z. So we got 39. That is the total score. So 39 FPS. Honestly, that is good and better than I thought. I thought we would end up with something like 30. For the mountain peak, we got 49 FPS, 0.82. So basically, that's like 50 frames. And then for Syria, we got 33. So basically, I would say, what? That is like 30. And then for the geothermal valley or the geothermal valley, however it's pronounced, that is 33 frames as well. Our total score is 39 FPS. Keep in mind, I will be testing Crimson Desert when it comes out tomorrow. Okay, so right now we are doing the one and only Cyberpunk. I cannot believe Cyberpunk right now is running, at least the intro, 30 frames on a device that costs $500 with a mobile chip. So there is that, and we're gonna do the benchmark. Okay, so we will start the benchmark with, for this Mac, so the recommended, and we will see what we get. So the FPS so far is 30, 31, and both the in-game FPS counter is giving us 30, and then the counter up top is 30. We do have some slight dips to 27, but so far we are good at 30 frames, which I think is really good for a device of this price and this caliber with a mobile chip. So the average was a 28.8, so let's say 30 frames. Let's go back to settings, then this time we're gonna do low, and start benchmark. So low is about 5 frames lower than the for this Mac option. However, the image quality is much better with low, because for this Mac had too much light, like a bright light. I'm not sure what it was. So if I had the option, I would definitely pick low and then play with low instead of for this Mac, because for this Mac it was just too sunny and too lighty for some reason. This looks much better. So the average for this one is a 27.8, so I would say what, 28 frames? The difference is like one frame from what we had a second ago. Let's go to medium. Okay, the quality is already looking much better with medium as well. There is a noticeable difference. However, the frame rate is taking a huge dip. We went, I think in total, about 5 frames, even less. And it started to be choppy. If I had the option between everything, I would definitely run it all low and play all low. I would not go higher than low. I would like to try low, but with a bit more crowd maybe? We will see how that goes. For this, we are at the 23 frames. I do not recommend that. Let's do high for the kicks and giggles and nothing else. I am sure the performance is going to be a disaster, but just for the kicks and giggles. Okay, the quality is better, but we are at 17 frames. Don't think anyone would like to play at 16 or 17 frames. I think 30 frames is acceptable, 60 frames where it's at least for me. But anything below 30 frames, I don't think it's something you should aim for. But again, we're talking about a device with a mobile chip for a cell phone that costs $500 and it's a Mac. And as I said before, if you are really wanting to play video games, your best bet is to play video games with a device that is not a Mac. Just get a Windows laptop and then you will be good to go and you will have a much better experience overall. If your main goal is to game and play video games and nothing else. But if you want to do other creative stuff and do video games on the side, here is the results for you. So we're looking at 18.85 frames. I do not think that is something that you should aim for. Now, I want to go to low, not for this Mac, but low. And then the crowd density, I just want to make it perhaps medium. Gonna run the benchmark and see. That would be like a personal setting that I would play the game with. Okay, so we are at 24, 26. So I guess we lost about 6 to 4 frames. As long as we get an average that is closer to 30, I will be okay with that overall. And if you are liking what you are seeing, please tell me what is your favorite sandwich in the comments, and also do not forget to subscribe and hit the like button. I would like that we reach 5,000 subs as soon as possible. I think reaching that number would be very cool, to reach 5,000 subs. To 27.34. It's about 1 to 2 frames difference. I mean, it really depends, but I think I will keep it low. If I have this machine, I would probably keep the crowd low and enjoy the game.